and now this person has learned about lack and need, and so these are aspects of self. Always, it's, you know, in a tarot card, it's not like always just a group of people or something. It's not like a comic, but it's aspects of self. So this person, first you always need to direct everything to yourself. And then you can see, okay, where is it showing up in my life? Which people around me maybe are holding up that mirror for me? And the divine counterpart connection is about holding up that mirror, right? Totally. So, and showing you aspects of self that you maybe, you know, especially, of course, in this connection we are right here, showing and shining light on all the shadows and bringing love in that. Of course, of course. And bringing them back alive. Even past life memories, see? Past life memories. See, we do have the moon and the justice, and so, and looking online, maybe past life memories, right? Totally. I have that all the time, that I'm stumbling over things online that kind of trigger my memories, and of course also all the spiritual things. So yeah, but I I had picked that up actually to speak here, but see, the reading does its own thing, of course. Yeah, so in the end, you know, it's you holding the sword, your truth. Yes, and of course we needed that excuse, because this sword, this discernment, this is what's represented through the scales here, right? The discernment, like, how much money do I need to sustain my physical body? How much money do I need to sustain my mental body? Like, are there books I want to buy, courses I want to book, classes, you know, are there workshops I want to go? Do I want to travel to broaden my perspective? What do I need as experiences, and how much money do I need for that? I want to encourage you to totally, because we do have the materials here on the table, to totally clearly make that for you, because you are just this emotional, sweet archangel being. Archangel, I said, hello. So yeah, of course, it's higher realms here, right? Totally. So higher dimensions. And it's super important because, of course, we can, you know, go with love and air, but still, we are here to ground. We are here to build on earth, like on earth. This is really also, you know, you coming from somewhere else and then choosing this incarnation. This is totally about, wow, I never saw that in that card before so clearly, but yeah, it's interesting, right? When we see it from that perspective, how it's really you choosing your life. And you can do that during your timeline, during your lifetime, all the time. You can choose a new life. You can step into a new world. That's what he's about to do, right? That's how we typically read that card. Someone who's about to step in a new life, experience. It's about experience. But that's also you as the angel coming into earth, wanting this human experience for a certain purpose, right? You have a very, very important purpose here. Person, nearly came out of my mouth, person. So you do have an important person here, maybe someone you wanted to totally get out of their shadows too. Like someone you wanted to awaken. And you know who that is? The person you're reading for here, right? And you both wanted to do that for one, you know, for each other, for oneself. I wanted to say, wow, yes, sounds very twin flamey here. So it's all aspects of self, as I said. And it's just a beautiful journey and a beautiful path to come in actually as twin flames, right? Two incarnations. See the two flames. That's also a twin flame card for a lot of people. Because yes, it's two flames, two incarnations on earth simultaneously. And because you are the two of you, you can literally mirror yourself perfectly, sending your core frequency back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, triggering awakening, totally. Triggering what? What's that? Like totally disbelieving, you know, understanding, tuning into yourself. You're tuning into soul, tuning into the whole body of soul, the big ocean. And then with that big ocean, feeling it flowing through you even, then you question reality, of course, totally. You question reality, and it's like, what's that? That's just not wrong. That's just not wrong. That's just not right what they are saying, right? It's all upside down here in this world. It's all BS. What are they telling and teaching? And you know, you come across all that and you see the whole shadow projection, and you understand, well, life actually is developed from within. Life is growing in our hearts. This angel is also growing life, like growing consciousness there actually. So yeah, I love this card so much. And yeah, core frequency. But here we do have divine feminine totally first, right? That's first. That's first. First comes the darkness. First comes the disillusionment and dissolving of all that. And really, I mean, judgment, it's about awakening the real truth, like the full you, right? Totally. Like the full you. Like, hello, ancient Egyptian goddess. Hello. I feel you. 7-1 right now. So clearly, you know, the sevens and the ones, that's about the highest possible embodiment here on earth, like seventh dimension that can be embodied on earth. Jesus had that. 7D, 717 right now. And so that's what I meant with mirroring the core frequency. It's like constantly being in this field of 7D. See, and this is very beautiful actually now, the reading. It has turned magically into just a beautiful storyline here, where we channel all this love, right? We channel that. We channel this love overflow, and that's what's healing, and that's what's then watering kind of the underground, and then we can dig it up, and then we have it clearly now in the consciousness what has happened to us and why we maybe were a little bit, oh, I'm just nice, right? Please don't hurt me. Because that's, and you know, I hate it if someone says, oh yeah, they were just people pleasing. Because that's not what it is. It's not people pleasing. It's fucking survival, right? It's survival. Because these behaviors are learned at childhood, in childhood, when you were totally dependent. And here's where this shadow reading, if you don't like this card, you have a problem with being dependent on someone else. You don't feel safe waiting for the hand to give because someone has manipulated you emotionally with not giving. And this wound, it's a deep wound. Ooh, can you? Wow, I love tarot so much. Do you see the colors? Amazing. So, and I literally said, like, this is giving what you need for your physical body, and this is what you need, you know, to for inspiration and stuff like that. So totally both. Wow, like nurturing the physical body as well as the emotional body. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And that's what tarot is for. And I mean, all divination is for expanding freaking consciousness. I just learned something. I never saw that. I always saw that it's, you know, different aspects and all that. But see, on earth. And See, he's standing on earth, but this is all about the frequencies here. It's totally depicted. Wait. He lives, as I said, he lives in the emotional realm. That's like what his first point of reference, right? And so whatever he's encountering, he's first looking at, how do I feel? See, he is totally linked to the water. But in the end, the cup that holds the water, and that's what I'm kind of constantly saying and explaining, the cup that holds the water is made of earth. That's the very ground he stands on, and that's how we ground ourselves, and that's how we can avoid like being taken down, right? Because this cup, what's the matter? What holds it together? It's your values. And that's what this very card is speaking about. So he has these values discovered for himself. He knows, okay, so I'm like, I go, let's say it's, I don't know, ancient Greek or something, right? And then he goes on the market, and then you don't have like a social whatever where people can get money and food. And so the rich people are obliged, they were obliged in these cultures, and in all ancient cultures it just was like that the rich people were obliged to give, because they were the ones that had the ability to give, right? And everyone would see that, because everyone was on the market. And if rich people wouldn't give, then they would be literally shamed. And so they just know, they grow up like that. And of course they grow up usually, you know, with good morals, also with a good education, like, and then they would learn that's how it is, right? And you have to show, you have to present also. And I don't mean that in a superficial way, like what we see a lot on social media, but really, you know, really coming from the heart. And you know, this wasn't like I sent some money somewhere at the end of the world where I don't know nobody, and still I have my nose up and I look down on every poor people who lives next door, or I mean not next door maybe, but you know, down there, the other postal code where I can look down on, right, because I'm higher above. No, back then when we lived more in these tribal, smaller groups, then we weren't disconnected like that. But helping people would mean helping the poor ones, like just around you, just spending for the kindergarten at the corner of the street, right? Just helping homeless people in your own city. That was how it was done earlier. And these days, I grew up totally around people like that, who would have all these, you know, through these organizations where we all know it's 10% or something, if at all, which reaches the receiver, and 90% just feeds the organization, and they are not the good guys, I can tell you that. But people would like, yeah, you know, I spend for that. But it's just, you know, with a beautiful picture where someone has, you know, I mean, yeah. So this is kind of fake giving, and this is coming from an ego, right? Coming from the place of ego, totally. And if you really, really, really are coming from an open heart space, you would help those people around you. You would not, you know, look down on the kid which is in the class of your kid, which has maybe dirty clothes on. But you would ask, wow, what's going on? Why aren't your clothes washed? Do you have problems at home? What's going on, right? Do you need help? Instead, what most people do, they look down on these kids and they are like, oh, that's the bad families and we are the good ones, right? Oh goodness, I don't know why I'm there right now, but this is a shadow in here somewhere. That's a shadow. Okay. So, but yeah, you know, in the Viking traditions, it also was a thing that people always would give to their guests, and enjoying that even, you know, it's, I just want to say, yeah, that's why we talk so much about that. Giving because you feel someone, you know, you are better and the other people are, you know, worse than you. That's literally covert narcissism most of the time. And in these organizations, there are a lot of narcissists, right? A lot. And because this is really feeding to the ego, totally, it's elevating, because the difference can make you feel bigger, blow your ego, right? And always when you speak down on someone and kind of lower their standard, you gain energy from the difference you have created. And you, beautiful archangel, angel being here, earth angel, you know, of course, that we come from one source, right? That's justice coming from one source. So based on the law of one, where yes, you know, it all goes in the 4 directions, and sometimes directions aren't that favorable, and it's, you know, the wheel is turning for everyone, I want to say, I need to say. So this is, if you give truly from an open heart space, you know, you also could have, oops, it was totally turned around, like turning the wheel around. You also could have chosen this incarnation. So you are not looking down on someone like that, but you know, on the angelic realm, we are all one. Like, this might be an archangel. This too, of course. And this too. No one here is the bad guy, right? And if we feel someone is the bad guy, or worse than, or better than, or less than, or whatever, then we clearly have wounds that we need to heal and work through. And it's good to write it down, like write all these perceptions down, what you think. And then try to tune into your higher self and bring it back to, you know, law of one. And yes, we are one consciousness. Yes, we choose that. And someone who is in a bad position in life, that does not mean this person has done something very evil before and now they are getting their bad karma or whatever. That's also just a false belief, because sometimes we just come in because we can, because we have the strength, and we want to cleanse, transmute. That's the purpose of divine connections also, totally. So listen, cleanse and transmute residues of past lives, karmic baggage, totally, that's the purpose, right? Getting clarity on subconscious karmic baggage here. Bring it out. And some things are best worked out through the physical body, because the body is not only the vessel for the soul, but also the communicator of the soul. And so sicknesses, illnesses, all that, they show what's happening. And sometimes they just show that someone is hexing you, actually. But yeah, so stay protected, fam. But you feel everything in the body, just with the thoughts here in the head, right? That's also, of course, all these so-called neurodivergent things. There's, what's that? You want to go there? Oh, you want to go there. Nice. And this kind of wants to go there. I like it. So we are releasing that now. See, my sessions are always also alchemy, a little bit of alchemy. I mean, much alchemy actually. That's what tarot sessions are for, also for yourself, because while you are listening within yourself, you alchemize. You alchemize, you heal a little bit. We heal with every piece that really fuels our consciousness. And you know, the whole unconscious mind, what we have, the subconsciousness, which is, I don't know, 90% about, right? And then we bring it out in the open, and then we can release it. And sometimes, especially if things are very bad, you know, experiences, also, you know, I mean, most lifetimes end with some pain, because crossing over isn't always this deliberate decision to, oh, well, I guess I have made this incarnation perfect, and so now I lay down and I go back, right, home. Most people have a lot of experiences where it's more harsh. And so these are also, when we unlock past lives, and we do that these days a lot, like unlocking past life gifts, then we have to tune through pain, because that's literally the gate to the past life. So witch wounds, right? That's a thing here, witch wounds. To unlock your witch power, your manifesting power, you have to go through all the witch wounds you have experienced, which in the harmlessest way would be people talking bad about you. But there are a lot of way worse scenarios, right? What could have happened? Also within these connections, because in other timelines, people weren't, you know, allowed to be together in certain circumstances. And so, yeah. So there is a thing. I feel we have it right here now. Like the full truth is on the table. And now it's 10-10, and actually 10-10-10. And we are moving with the cups here. Wow, the rainbow bridge. Wow. The rainbow bridge into higher dimensions. And that's, of course, what we want to create here on Earth. Like all these bubbles, these 5D bubbles, or 7D. And yes, go for it. Like, yes, 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 go for it. So, and you know, this is like your inner truth, internal energy, and this is how you go and show the world, like full authentic power, but mental. And yes, and it's, if there is a lot of attack in the mental realm, in the crown, then of course, you know, I mean, it's always attacked what is the most valuable, what is the most powerful. So just know that. If you have been through a lot of emotional pain, that's why your emotional body is so strong. If you have been through a lot of mental distress, and then that's because you are naturally a mentalist, a very strong mental being with high abilities there. If you have been through a lot of physical stuff, then your body, your pentacles are very strong. You are a strong manifester. You have strong abilities in the manifesting realm. And yes, you can resurrect and heal. I mean, heal is just too soft for this kind of energy. Like this kind of energy. You can literally, you have the power of resurrection. So use it wisely. with discernment. That's why they are saying we need the discernment. This is a beautiful card if you think about that it's really the ego death, and like you understand fully, well, I am not my body, I am not my pain, you know, I'm not my thoughts and all that, and I'm not my emotions, yes, but also I'm not my body. I'm not. I'm way more, I'm the light there. That's, if you look at that card, what I always see first is the light there and not the pain, because I have transcended my pain, and that's what I'm looking for here, what I'm looking at. I am that. I am, right? I am. That's an I am awakening card. A beautiful card. So the underworld is getting restored here. And yes, and you are here to rebuild or totally create a new, right? New, but see how we have it now? That's how it wants to come through here. The unconscious made conscious, like being fully linked, and that's when the thought energy, the mental energy flows. If you are connected with your divine feminine energy, which is the mind, the subconscious mind, the everything, right? And in the subconscious mind, there is just all the frequencies, like stored data, emotions. That's this whole ocean, what we have here. And that's literally she tuning in this moon energy, in this divine feminine energy, getting clarity about themselves here. And then the crown opens. And then you wear that crown. And yes, the crown is quite big, right, for this little human, because it's a divine crown. So protect your crown, I want to say. Wear hats. Wear something around your head, and tend to your hair. Like, see, they did a lot with that, with oil, anointment. So, again, the crown. And this also looks like a crown. And this also is crown, right? It's all about that. And here, see, this is where the divine connection comes in. And the first thing I was drawn to in the Justice card was, hey, look, that's the sun. That's consciousness. Downloading into the crown. Yeah. That's what this reading wants to say. And if you do that, then you know exactly where to put your pentacles, where to put your energy, where to put your resources. And you can learn that also a little bit. So, resources. Okay. Yes, you need resources to build on Earth. Yes. Acknowledge that. Yes, we do need that. Yes. And you know, after the period of divine provision and getting through, and when you step into your divine purpose, yes, then divine provision, it's not provision then anymore, but it is, how's it called? I forgot it. There is a word for that. But let's just call it, you know, your divine heritage, or your divine, it's really your divine abundance. And that's a constant flow. And that's, you know how, for example, artists say, like the good ones, if their bank account is, you know, lost for some reason, then they could start over tomorrow again. And this is this kind of energy. It's all in the flow. And with the wheel, it's all, you know, it's created. It's like continuous created. Your wealth, it's wealth, what we are speaking about. And my deck wants to come through. Yes, yes, yes. Because that's all about how can you, and that's important, I feel, coming out of this energy here, out of this energy, I mean. It's important to, you know, after rock bottom, we want to build and we want to grow and we need to. So let's see. Let's see. Okay. So that's on that side. This, oops, okay, this makes so much sense. This is legs here, some legs in protected. It's about the root chakra. And it says healing the root. So now we are in the root. That's important. We had the crown, so I understand that that's important. Also, it's about the root cause, right? I'm hearing the root cause of it all. So you are, you need to heal the root cause of it all. That's why we do have all this super subconscious energy here. So this card says literally what I already have channeled. So healing the roots. Your feet connect you to your ancestors. Is there anything that need to be healed? The soul speaks through the body. Injuries tell his story, like his story and history, like his story and history, right? So ancestral, and I wanted to grab that, like ancestral, so it's also about past life ancestors. It's not only bloodline, and it's more about your spiritual bloodline, I feel. But yeah, root, like root needs to be healed as well. The crown and the root makes sense, right? Because the root chakra, that's then the opening, the rainbow opening, the phoenix moment, right? When we are birthing and we are preparing to birth something here. This is the root chakra opening. And we are preparing to birth it, like on earth, like all the red colors. Red speaks about root chakra. It's birthing. And yeah, also the red-winged angel, that's always speaking about protection here on earth. And also there, see the red robe as well. So yes, yes, yes. We also had this bunch of cards, and I want to see if we need it all. Yes, it makes sense. Okay. Okay. So let's go through that. Before I even read it, I wanted to say, so we will make a row here. Yes. See, this is the Wheel of Fortune, right? And this card says, it wants to be here. It says fame, fate, and fortune. It says, life circumstances often take things away from us so that we can show life who we truly are. Nothing can take away your dignity. 222 right now, and this is my favorite card of the deck, I want to say, because it's just true and it's part of my own life story. But how the cards, you know, the deeper meaning behind the cards, that's in the book I will create. It's not ready, and this is more background and for deepening, but I have channeled the text at the cards so that everyone can just read them intuitively and use them, you know, for their own storyline, because I want to share that. And I feel we need this clear guidance for how we are manifesting. So integrity is, of course, the integral part of every manifestation. Like, we always ask, like, what's the intention, right? And intention that should come from integrity. Sometimes it comes not, but it should, you know, totally. And integration, that's what the whole reading was about. Shadow integration, the true self awakening, And then with that, like with all parts of your soul, including soul partners maybe, with all parts of your soul, then you can transition into, right? But this is a process that needs to happen within every single person. This is your own multiverse, like all within yourself, all parts within yourself. So you're not waiting for someone else, you know, to come and get you. This is higher consciousness. This is angels saying, okay, we detach from the emotions, like we detach. It's also a 6, right? Just like this. So it's discernment. We have discerned this. This is not a place to stay, right? We have discerned. Here we are suffering. So that's why the angel, the angelic realm, 6 speaks about the angelic realm. The angels are taking us to the next. And we are allowing, we surrender to that process, and we accept that we need to be safe in a realm which is built upon our own core values. And that realm is sustainable because it's built on justice, and we have, now it's upright, we have worked through past karma, trauma, etc. And things that happen in this lifetime that are triggering in divine connections, it's on purpose, like it's written in your book of fate on purpose, so that you can release